All right, what is going on, Laker fans? Thank you very much for tuning in on this 4th of July. Hope everybody is enjoying the holiday, getting some time with some family, some friends, some barbecuing, maybe some nice ice cold beers, whatever the case is. I appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Wanted to spend a little bit of time on this episode just talking specifically about the Lakers point guard situation. And if there's enough depth between DAngelo Russell and Gabe Vincent to hold court at point. So that's what we're going to spend some time on in today's episode. If you guys don't mind, if you can please subscribe to the channel. If it's the first time you've ever been on the channel, thank you very much for coming on. Spent a lot of time talking Lakers basketball, also talk NBA on this channel. So I appreciate you guys doing this, but it is a great way to support the channel. Like if you like the video, and please subscribe, which is very important for the channel as well. Thank you. Okay, so let's get right into it. We know what happened with the Lakers. They had some question marks coming into the offseason. They had some question marks coming into which players they were going to be able to retain, which players they were going to be able to bring back, which players that they would lose in free agency. You had I'm sure the Lakers would love to have found a way to get Fred VanVleet on this Lakers roster. Maybe there was a potential to do a sign and trade for him. Okay, maybe it wasn't that realistic. I look at the point guard position. I think it's obviously in today's NBA to have a legitimate point guard could be an absolute game changer. But also at the same time, you want to find guys that fit. You want to find guys that complement the role. You want to find guys that also complement the two stars that you have. For the Lakers, they got LeBron James. They got Anthony Davis. They tried the Russell Westbrook thing for a year and a half. That clearly didn't work. So it's not all just about talent. It's the right talent. And last year, the Lakers were able to get to the Western Conference Finals, and they did it with a combination of two players, right? They did it with a combination of Dennis Schroeder and DAngelo Russell. And that was from the All-Star break, from the trade deadline moving forward. That's how they were able to do that. They were obviously able to do it with those two players specifically. So the reason why I bring that up in today's video is just as simple as this. Is there enough depth at that position between Gabe Vincent and DAngelo Russell? Let's get into it here. By the way, you could feel free to comment below. I'm going to start with Gabe Vincent. Gabe Vincent, that's the new player for the Lakers, right? He signed that 3-year, $33 million deal to be a Los Angeles Laker. I already saw, and I don't think I'm trying to make an argument early on of which of these two players should start, but I'm going to put that to the side for a quick second. Gabe Vincent this is in the regular season, averaged about 9 points a game, 2 rebounds, and 2.5 assists for the Heat during the regular season. Shot about 40% from the field and 33% from three. Okay, let me just say this. From a regular season perspective, not that impressive. It's not like, let's use DAngelo Russell's numbers. This is actually kind of what makes the two of these players interesting. Is DAngelo Russell in the regular season, 17 points a game, 6 assists, 41% from the three-point line. DAngelo Russell was excellent in the regular season. And Gabe Vincent was, he was all right. Okay, now let's fast forward to the playoffs where if you're a team in contention and you're trying to win an NBA championship, what do those numbers look like in the most important, the most critical stages of the season, which is obviously the playoffs? It's Gabe Vincent's numbers that shoot up, 12, almost 13 points a game, 3.5 assists during that playoff run. Remember, the Miami Heat beat the Milwaukee Bucks, the New York Knicks, and the Boston Celtics, and then obviously lost to the Denver Nuggets in 5 games. But you saw Gabe Vincent's numbers shoot up, and that's for a playoff perspective. And then DAngelo, who did really good in the regular season, 17 points and 6 assists, you saw his numbers come down once the playoffs started. Just that series alone against the Denver Nuggets, he averaged 6 points, 3.5 assists, shot 32% from the floor and 13% from three. So I think more than anything else, Laker fans, what I'm trying to figure out here is there enough talent in that point guard position between Gabe Vincent and DAngelo Russell for a team like the Lakers to go make that playoff run? The one thing that the Lakers had, and it actually sounds very similar to what it was this past season, is you had a guy in DAngelo Russell that could kind of, from a stats perspective, give you what you were looking for during the regular season, but you couldn't really depend on him once postseason came. And you had a guy like Dennis Schroeder, who was up and down. Some nights he might get to the free throw line 8 or 9 times and end up contributing 18 or 19 points, but other nights he might go 2 for 5 and have 4 points. So I don't know how much that's going to change. I think the question is going to be, is Gabe Vincent going to be, is he going to take what he was able to accomplish with the Heat and what he was able to accomplish in the playoffs and take his game to another level? And is the spacing that guys like LeBron James and Anthony Davis and Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura and all these other guys that are going to get attention, is that going to give Gabe Vincent an opportunity to just kind of feast, get wide open jumpers? We know the guy's going to play with grit. He's going to play with defense. If you go look at his story, undrafted, and how he kind of put himself in this situation, it's a great story. And the way you get there is not by, just kind of hanging around and seeing if an opportunity comes. You go and seize any opportunity that you get. But that's going to be the question mark with the Lakers. I do think of all the positions that are out there, that the Lakers, the point guard position and the point guard situation, kind of a work in progress here. I don't know what DAngelo Russell is going to be next year. I would love for DAngelo to take his game to another level, and then all of a sudden we're looking at D'Lo saying, okay, hey, this guy's not just real deal in the regular season. Not only can he grind out 82 games, but on top of that, he could do it in the playoffs as well. Maybe there's times where D'Lo and Gabe Vincent are playing together because they're both playing so well that they have to be on the floor together. I just don't know how realistic that is. And is Gabe Vincent one of those players that is a great upgrade in that point guard position, and he's just going to contribute more on a more consistent basis than Dennis Schroeder did? I don't have the answer to that one as well. So while I was a fan of Gabe Vincent coming to the Lakers, I don't know if this point guard position for the Lakers, at least for right now, if we're going to be looking at the point guard position and really, really feeling good about those two players eating up a bulk of the minutes. I hope it happens, but it could very well be as simple as what happened in the playoffs, where I'm going to play my best five to close games. And if that is Austin Reeves at the 1 and Taurean Prince is at the 2, because they're both playing really well, and then you went Rui, LeBron, and Anthony Davis, just using that as an example, right? That those are the 5 that close. It might be another situation where the Lakers are in a similar situation where they're looking at that spot and saying, okay, we got our starters, but who closes completely is dependent on who's playing the best. Speaking of starters, I know it's early. We don't have to technically do this right now. But I'm going to read off something here from Jovan Buha. DAngelo Russell is the early favorite to start at point guard, but Gabe Vincent could earn the spot if he outplays him in training camp, team sources told The Athletic. Well, that's how it should be. I mean, I don't think there's too many Laker fans are going to disagree with this one, that there's no favorites here. And here's kind of the beauty. So D'Lo signed a 2-year, $37 million deal. I think it's a player option on that second year. Gabe Vincent signed a 3-year, $33 million deal. Just because DAngelo Russell is making more money per year, it does not make him more valuable than Gabe Vincent. And if at the end of the day, as the season progresses, and Gabe Vincent is clearly, hey, this dude needs to be starting, then start him. But DAngelo Russell being the early favorite, that doesn't really surprise me or shock me. What I like about it is Gabe Vincent's walking over to the Lakers with a 3-year deal. He knows he's going to get $11 million a year, and he's probably going to have no problem competing for that starting spot, and at the absolute worst, competing for minutes, right? You got two guys that can play the role. one guy I'm sure thinks he should have that role more than the other, and I think that's going to create good competition, and good competition should create some good results for the Lakers. So that's the latest on that front. Feel free to give me your comments on this one. Do the Lakers have enough depth at that point guard position? And if you're looking at this Lakers team, do you have more confidence in Gabe Vincent getting a bulk of those minutes or DAngelo Russell? Now we got a lot of time to figure that out, but I think that's an interesting conversation to be had. One other thing that I want to mention here, Laker fans. So Lakers had their summer league game yesterday against Miami. They called the California Summer League California Classic, which makes no sense that Miami is in it, but okay, California Classic. So Lakers in the Heat. Heat won that game 107-90. Lakers, to be honest with you, weren't even really in the game. And for all those who are concerned that, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? The young kids didn't play all that great. But he calmed down, but he relaxed. It's going to be okay. I like getting a chance to see some of the young kids. First off, I'll start out with Max Christie. Man, I hope this guy gets some playing opportunities this upcoming season. I really do. I like him. Looks like he's kind of bulked up a little bit as well. That might help him on the defensive side. But I think he ended up scoring 17 points, had a few assists as well. I think had 6 rebounds. So I'm excited to see what Max Christie brings to the table. And then as far as the young kids, Jalen Hood-Schifino, not exactly the most impressive start. I know he struggled in the first half, was better in the second half. I think 5 for 11 in the second half, but was only 1 of 8 in the first half. He's got some work to do. You want to see his outside game get a little cleaner. But he's got that, kind of got that mid-range. I think that's where he excels the most in some of those inside the 3-point line, I would say, is where he excels the most. And then the last one, Maxwell Lewis. This is the 6'7" wing out of Pepperdine. We'll see. Work in progress. Not like he was doing a lot. Not like he was overly aggressive or anything like that. But played 16 minutes, so it'll be fun to keep watching some of these young kids play and see what they could bring to the table. Okay, Laker fans, thank you. I appreciate you guys being a part of the show, and I'll be back tomorrow throwing up some more content. Whether NBA related or Lakers related, just kind of depends on what's going on in the NBA. By the way, I'm going to throw this out there as well. I know I don't respond all the time on the comments, but I do read them. If you have any topic ideas that you think would be an interesting discussion that, this whole channel and community can be a part of, let me know. I'll be happy to see if it would be a good topic for everybody else, but I'm happy to take topic suggestions if you have them. So thanks for being a part of the show. Please subscribe to the channel. Hope you guys have a great 4th of July, and we will see you tomorrow.